Good morning and welcome to December, the last month of the year, a month of chaos, craziness, and all kinds of good things. We are starting with a new set of readings for this month, and the base spread that I'm using comes from 365 Tarot Spreads by Sasha Graham. And being December 7th today, we are going to be doing the spread called Qualities of Jupiter spread. And before I start shuffling, I'm just going to give a little bit of background. I think I'm going to like this one. So basically, the inspiration for the spread is that the Galileo spacecraft went into space and started to orbit around Jupiter on this day in 1995. And Jupiter is considered the planet of luck and expansion within the astrological correspondences. And so the summation that they have for the spread is the Qualities of Jupiter spread contains questions based on the astrological associations of the planet Jupiter. Using these associations, questions are posed to offer greater clarity in life. And so we're going to it says here that when you create, like when you cast the cards, to do it as a circle with the first card in the middle and then the rest of the cards kind of circling around it. That connects this spread to the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about cycles and seasons and, moving forward. And so, I guess we're ready to go. So, I apologize in advance if I seem a little flustered, but the book is like close to the end, and so trying to get it so that the book stays open while I do the reading might be a little bit challenging. So I apologize in advance. So now we're going to shuffle in with the question of what is Jupiter here to share with us, to teach us, to bless us with, because Jupiter also is the planet of blessings. It is the place where when we align with where Jupiter is in our natal charts, that we can find, the blessings in our lives. During my studies of human design, specifically quantum human design, we have learned that, Saturn is the great teacher, and when you learn the lessons of Saturn, it opens up to the blessings and the abundance of Jupiter. And so let's see what Jupiter has for us. So what are the gifts, the lessons, the openings, the expansions for us? And we just dropped a card, so that's going to come out later. Last time I forgot my jumper, so I'm going to put it in a very clear place to remind me that I need to look at that card. And now we will check. And here we go. So we'll place our cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, so the first card of this Jupiter spread, it says it's using the correspondence of Jupiter being the planet of good fortune. And so the question that they ask is, what is my fortune? And we will see. Oh, interesting. We have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is very dynamic, very charismatic, very goal-oriented in the sense of when the Knight of Wands has been given his marching orders, he will go. And the rest of the army pretty much is kind of like, hey, slow down, I'm trying to catch up to you. And so the blessings, the fortune that we have from Jupiter is our ability to get straight through, right? So if there's something that we get set on, if there's something that we're passionate about, if there's something that we are intent on creating or completing, we have the ability to get it done. We have the ability to just have the resources, have the people, have the energy, have the connections, have all that we need as well as far as like fortune goes in regards to following through on the things that are the blessings of our lives, that are the places of joy and fun and play and growth and expansion. Really good card to kind of start this off with. So let's see what else Jupiter has to bring. The next is good health. So what keeps me healthy? And here we have the Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Coins. And it's interesting because one of the things that we have to learn as we're going about is that there's an equal balance, right? Like if we want to be healthy, there's definitely various pillars in our health and wellness that we need to be looking at. And so it's important, I feel, that we are physically, because the pentacle, the pentacle and the coin suits will connect to our physical realm. And so it's very, very important, I feel, that we're balancing all of the physical activities we have, all the physical commitments that we have, all the physical, even the financial side of it and the resource side of it, making sure that we're eating balanced, especially during the holidays, right? Like, so this is a really good thing to keep in mind too, is that during the holidays, it's very important to make sure that we're getting balanced, because it can be very, very crazy right now. And so Jupiter's coming to say, balance. If you're going out to all the holiday parties, if you're getting ready to celebrate holiday by either traveling or having people come in, make sure that you're taking moments of rest in as well, and if you're going to be eating all the holiday foods, make sure that you're eating in moderation and that you're doing what you need to do in order to be able to maintain, not necessarily the figure, but to maintain the health, right? Because when we eat too many sweets, if we drink too much, if we partake of all the things that our body may not really be used to having in large quantities, we're gonna kind of pay the consequences for that a little bit later on. And so we're being said that, for our health right now, especially as I said, for the rest of the month, make sure that you're just kind of checking in and seeing where it is. Because the other thing too, right? Like when I was talking about making sure you're getting rest, the opposite side of this is that, December can be a very dark month, and we've had a lot of snow where I am. So it's been very dark, very gloomy, snow squalls, snowstorms, all that kind of thing. And we're getting into the shorter and shorter days of the year. So this is when the SADs kick in, right? Like if we're prone to seasonal depression, this is when that's going to kick in. And so the opposite in this case is being said, like if you're really in a funk, maybe you need to get out. And it's not necessarily that you need to get out to go exercise or to stuff like that. It's maybe you just need to get out. Go out and take a drive and go and look at the lights of the season. Go out and have coffee with a friend. Just something to get you out of the house, to get you looking at something different. So keep that in mind. The next one we have is faith. So what do I have faith in? And here we're back to wands. And so here we have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is, it can be that depressing, I don't have the ability to get it done, which when you think about those kinds of themes of the Nine of Wands, you're going, well, how can that be something that I have faith in? But what it is that the faith that no matter what happens, something will help you to get to the end, right? Even when you are feeling down, when you have no energy, when you're feeling a bit lost, when you just want to give up, there is that faith that something will come to show you what to do, to show you where to go, to help you, push you to, over whatever the hurdle is, move you beyond the obstacle so that you can complete whatever it is that you have done. And so it's important when you have a card like this that comes up that has more of a heavy, more of a, we'll say less wanted kind of theme. It reminds us that, even when we're there, we have to hold the faith, right? So even when you're going, this is taking forever to get done, it reminds me of the kids in the car at the holiday, right? Like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And having faith that you will get there, and so instilling in the children from a very young age, the faith that, it might seem that it's going on forever. It might seem that there's no rhyme or reason. Have faith. It will work out. And the more that we can have faith, even in those darkest times, and I think that's why this is coming up here is, what do I have faith in? I have faith that even in my darkest times, I'm never alone. There is always something, someone there that is going to reach a hand to me and help me. Loyalty. Who is loyal to me? And so here we have the 10 of Wands. We have a lot of wands in here, so we've got a lot of fire energy, a lot of purifying and burning up energy. And it's interesting because, again, like the nine and the 10 of this suit are very heavy. They're very burdened, if you want to put it that way, because the 10 of Wands, that is actually what it's about. It's about burdening, being overburdened, being overcommitted. This to me is the card that I carried around in my heart for a really long time, because this is the card of the pleaser, right? Yes, 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 yes. I will do everything for you. I will take on all the responsibilities. It doesn't matter if it's not mine to carry. If I'm just taking something off your plate because it's easier, I'll do it. Yeah, that's me. I will do it. And then you basically crumple under the weight and the pressure. And when you look at who is loyal to me, I think with this card, what's beautiful about it is, and I've had it come up before, where she's only carrying 5. Right? Like, so if you look at her, she's only carrying 5 wands, and there's a reflection behind her that makes the extra 5 to give us the 10 of wands. And who is loyal to you are the people that are holding up those mirrors so that they can show you, hey, you know what? Maybe you think you have more than you actually do. Maybe you need to start looking at what is yours versus what you're caring for other people. What are you multiplying? What are you catastrophizing? What is it that you are making bigger than it is, and it is collapsing you inside? It's that kind of like having that faith that no matter what happens, someone or something is going to come and show you that there is a different way, that you need to just change your mindset, because that's the problem with the fire suit, is that it tends to really, once it catches on to something, it will burn it to the ground. And so burnout is really, really high when we're dealing with the themes of the wands. It's very important to remember that we have people that are going to say, hey, it's time to take a break. Hey, you're taking on too much. Don't say yes to that, right? Give yourself time, give yourself space. And those are the people that are loyal to you, the people that are seeing you, and also who aren't afraid to say, hey, maybe you've made a mistake. Maybe it's time to look at things in a way that it doesn't come out condescending. It doesn't come out as if you're being criticized or anything like that. So that's really important. Justice. So how am I fair? Here we have the Queen of Cups. Damper a little bit of all this fire stuff that we got going on here. And one of the things that's interesting is when we look at the fact that we have 3 wands so far, it's like taking that cup and throwing it on a forest fire. I don't know how much she's going to do. It depends on what the other cards are that we have. But when we're looking at fair, and it's interesting to have the cups come in when we're looking at fair, because fair is justice is a very air-based sign, and so to have water come in, what's very emotional, very intuitive, it's almost counterintuitive to have that here. However, I think when we're looking at how am I fair, it's that ability to intuitively know the right decisions, the right choices, the right people, the right places, and trusting, right? So here we have that whole faith piece coming in, right? Like, it's very important that we can trust that we will know what it is that we need to do and who it is that we need to be with. The other thing about it is that you can be very, very creative in the problem solving. So when we're looking at how am I fair, there's a fluidity, there's an abstract quality to the water suit that allows us to think very, very abstractly on ways to solve problems. And so being the Queen of Cups, there's this ability to come up with these solutions from the heart, that when you follow your intuition and you follow that visceral reaction that you have, you will know the right way to bring creative solutions to the communities that you are in. And I think that's really, really wonderful. Now we're looking at confidence. So what boosts my confidence? And here we have the Page of Coins. When we're looking at what's boosting our confidence, what's going to boost our confidence is the types of invitations that are going to be coming to us. The pages are the runners of the tarot, right? Like, they will take messages from one person to the next, from one situation to the next. They bring all kinds of information in regards to the suit that they're connected with. the Page of Coins is going to bring with it a lot of 3D based, physical based invitations. And when we're looking at our confidence, when somebody comes to you and says, hey, I would like you to help me with this, that's going to boost our confidence because they see that we're good at whatever it is they're asking for us to help them with, right? If there's something going on that we have a skill, that we have an ability, what you're going to find is if you're doubting your skill and your ability, that's when you're going to start to find that there's going to be people that are coming in. Keep in mind that it might be a little bit slow in the beginning until you recognize that this is happening, but that's the way it is when we're dealing with the physical world, right? Everything takes time, everything is slow, and so it's really important to be at this point to really be paying attention to not necessarily the type of invitations that are coming in, but what you're being invited into, right? So if you're a painter and all of a sudden somebody's coming and inviting you to either display your stuff in a gallery or they're asking you to lead a workshop on painting, those are all indications that your painting has reached the point where you need to have confidence in it, right? If you're running a business and you were struggling with your business, then all of a sudden you start to see an uptick in requests. That again is an indication to trust and to have faith in what you're doing. And what's going to happen is the physical invitations that you're getting are going to be the direct next step on your path as well. So keep those things in mind as we're going through the holiday season. Next we have wisdom. So what gives me wisdom? Haha, communal building. So here we have the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles, which I will say now we're up to 3 Pentacles, which is going to counter and kind of control the 3 fires, because now we have like a 1-to-1 card for that. And we know that when you have a campfire, if you douse it with dirt, it will put it out. And so you can use all of this to kind of bring a really nice balance, because the other side of it is that fire will stoke the kiln that will turn the clay into beautiful pottery. So you have a really good possibility here for some great alchemy to take place. And then back to this. So we have the Three of Coins, and the Three of Coins, when we're looking at what gives me wisdom, it's working in collaboration with people. It can be virtual, but the thing is it's working in collaboration with people. It's not sitting back and sitting by yourself and going, oh, I'm going to try this out, I'm going to figure this out. There's a component of it. So I want to be kind of clear that what it is it's taking your ideas and your physical skills, right? So think about it. If you're getting these invitations and you're getting your confidence up, then it's also going to connect you to groups and networking and people. So it doesn't mean that you have to work in a group to produce and create something in the physical world. What it means is that you need to have a group to help hold the container in the physical world so that everything else can come through that. And that could be creating a little mastermind that you have. It can be, having workshops where you're working with other people and then getting feedback. But it's really, really important that you bring yourself into some kind of community within here that and especially a community of like-minded, right? You want to be working with people who are all committed to the same goal. So like the ants here in the colony, they're all committed to feeding the colony, and that's what you want to be kind of keeping in mind. And then our final card of the spread, because I still have my jumper here, I haven't forgotten, is philosophy. So what is my philosophy? And wow, is that not just perfectly ironic? Here we have the wheel, and at the beginning I said that Jupiter is connected to the Wheel of Fortune because of the fact that it has the opportunity to expand and to grow and to keep moving in creating more energy and more opportunities to be able to go forward. And so if we're looking at what is my philosophy, I think the wheel is pretty self-explanatory in the sense that it means that you need to keep going along with your cycles, right? It's not, and the important thing to remember with the wheel is it's not pushing. The wheel will spin at its time and its pace. And so what you need to find out, like your philosophy is, I go at my own pace. I do at my own pace. I follow the beat of my own drummer, right? Like it's very individual in this sense. And because it's a major arcana card, it is a life lesson we all need to learn. And in this sense, we really need to learn our personal philosophy is I do what I do because I am who I am. And so chasing after other people's dreams, other people's ideals, following through on whatever the conditioning is that you have experienced, it's time to start to break those mindsets, and it's time to break free, so that as you're going about your life and you're opening to these blessings and you're creating expansion, you're able to say, hey, you know what? I'm doing it the way it's meant to be with me. And that will help you to clear ruts that you might be stuck in. It's going to help you become aware of where you're actually stalled out, where you might actually be going in reverse. And, you know, one of the things that I like to think of is like clockwork, right? And so the wheel is very much like clockwork. So when you really follow your own path and your own calling and your own voice and listen to your intuition, which is interesting because here we have like our intuition is, it's the only water card that we have here, right? So our intuition is going to be very, very important in this sense because all of the other cards balance themselves out. So, you know, it just keep that in mind as you're going through, that it's important. You know, when you're looking at, as I was saying, like with the clockwork mechanism, where are your cogs getting stuck? Where do you might need to replace some things, some people, some situations in order to be able to get your wheel flowing nice and smoothly again? I will look at our our jumper is the Fool. Open up to the new. You're starting, you know, here we are in December. We're getting close to the end of the year. Clear up things so that you can be ready to start a brand new adventure. There's so much potential here. And when you tap into Jupiter, and if you look at using the Fool and the connection to beginnings as that invitation, here's our invitation that's coming. It's an invitation for us to really connect to these themes that Jupiter has for us. And so when we're ready to follow our life based on chasing the blessings, it will become a whole new adventure. So to sum up, I've kind of been doing that as we've been going along, but just basically to, I guess, reiterate, we have the 3 wands, which are very much our fire, and, you know, can be, because we have so much fire in this, it can be a bit destructive. However, the fire is countered, right, by the pentacles, which means our fire is not a raging forest fire because we have the 3 fires. Our fire is a campfire. Our fire is the furnace in our home that keeps us warm. Our fire that we have here is based on, you know, all of the things that we have to contain the fire. And what's really nice is when you go back to the image of the kiln, right? Like when you have that fire at the perfect right temperature, it can create beauty. It can create masterpieces. And depending on what it is that you're creating, you know, you might have to stoke the fire a little bit more or hold it back a little bit more, right? Because you need a different temperature to bake clay than you do to, say, do glassworks. So it's very important that we kind of keep that in mind. And then we do also have, I would say, bookended by 2 major arcana cards, because the Fool did fall out before I even laid a card. So it technically was our first card. And then we ended with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's a very, very nice way to bookend this whole thing as we're going forward. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope there was some kind of clarity for you, that you got some kind of gem out of it. And if you like the video, please subscribe, and I will see you again next week when we do the deep dive into the spread and do a spread analysis. And I will see you again. Take care.